now at 5. Terror in Brussels.
Everyone's panicking.
Terrorists strike a familiar target, killing dozens of people.
I just saw 2 people with heads like covered, really covered with blood.
Once again, the world is searching for the killers.
And for a way to stop the attacks.
Right now in the Belgian capital, a massive manhunt is underway for the terrorists who bombed Brussels this morning. They hit just as people were beginning their day, a day that now will go down in history as the worst terror attack Belgium has ever seen. Good evening. I'm Brad Stevens.
And I'm Ellen McNamara. At least 36 people were killed this morning in Brussels, and the terror group ISIS is claiming responsibility. We have in-depth coverage tonight of the attacks. KCTV5's Jonathan Vigliotti is live in Belgium.
Amy Anderson talked with Mizzou students caught in the middle of the attack. Craig Boswell has a look at how the nation is reacting to prevent any attacks here.
But we start with KCTV5's Joe Chiodo. He's here with an update on information just in from Brussels.
Investigation. Brad.
Joe, thanks. And students from Missouri found themselves in the middle of the terror attacks. KCTV5's Amy Anderson talked with the Mizzou students about what they saw. Amy?
Well, Brad, we have connected tonight at 6.
Well, it really brings it home to hear local students talk about their experience, and can you imagine how relieved their parents are
And being
tonight?
a parent and your child's over there, just a college student, scary stuff.
It would be frightening. Thank you, Amy.
Sure.
And KCI officials tell us they'll increase security, and authorities have already been in contact with federal officials and other law enforcement since early this morning. We caught up with one traveler on her way to visit family in Washington, D.C. She tells us she's wary to fly today because she was close to being on board a plane that went down during the September 11th terrorist attacks.
I'm very scared because I remember back in Flight 93, I was going to fly that day and I decided not to. And that was the plane that went down in, I believe, New Jersey. So that was a very close call. And here I am again. Not a close call, but nervous for sure.
KCI is just one of the transit hubs scrambling to make sure people are safe after yet another attack on travelers. With a look at what is being done around the country, KCTV5's Craig Boswell continues our in-depth coverage now from D.C.
Ellen, a noticeable presence at Union Station in Washington. Craig Boswell, KCTV5 News. Back.
So just how much should Kansas Cityans worry? We've had our brush with terrorists. Last year, a self-proclaimed ISIS sympathizer living in Florida wanted to blow up a firefighter memorial stair climb in downtown Kansas City. That plot was foiled. Security experts say soft targets are everywhere and can never be completely free from that threat.
Well, really, any of those hubs, airports, sporting venues are soft targets, and you can't totally secure any of them. There's a perimeter. You can make the perimeter secure, but outside the perimeter, people gather to get inside the perimeter. It's still going to be a potential target. So it really comes down to not just protecting the targets, but looking for the threats and trying to disrupt them before they actually occur.
Former FBI agent Jeff Lanza says Kansas City isn't a major target because not as many people live here compared to other larger metro areas.
Our coverage has just begun of the terror in Brussels.
Coming up in 7 minutes, a live report from the capital of Belgium for the latest on the search for the terrorists.
And join Scott Pelley for in-depth coverage on the CBS Evening News here at 5:30, including the latest on American victims. And then on KCTV5 News at 6, what's being done to keep the metro safe from terrorists and also copycats.
And as always, you can find the latest on this developing story on our website, kctv5.com. Jesse?
After a warm and breezy day today, we will be tracking the arrival of showers and storms. Some could be strong. Then, snow chances. We'll talk about it in your Storm Track 5 forecast.
A tragic crash claims the life of a teen and puts another in the hospital. What we're learning about the accident involving a young couple.
And a push for change after a dangerous intersection claims another life. What neighbors want to see happen and what they're doing about it.
New details about an intersection in Johnson County, Missouri that neighbors say is dangerous. Hundreds of people have signed an online petition demanding something be done to make Highway 50 and 131 safer. There have been 22 crashes here since 2012. MoDOT engineers agree that's just too many. They're trying to figure out a fix and hope to have a plan by the summer. So far, more than 1,400 people have signed the petition online. To check it out yourself, just go to kctv5.com. Right now, the search continues for those who killed dozens of people in Brussels this morning.
Next, a live report from Belgium with what's being done right now to track down the terrorists. Jesse?
After a warm, sunny day today, showers and storms are on the move. We'll talk about that, plus snow chances, believe it or not. That's all coming up in a few minutes.
Coming up new at 6, a big blow to the Chiefs. All-pro linebacker Justin Houston has undergone knee surgery. How long the Chiefs say he could be out, and what his loss means for the team. As we speak, raids are going on in Belgium to track down the terrorists who killed at least 36 people this morning.
An estimated 200 people were hurt when bombs went off at the airport and then the subway. The Islamic State group has claimed responsibility. Belgium's interior minister says authorities knew that some kind of extremist act was being prepared in Europe, but that they were surprised by the scale of these attacks. We've also learned Belgium will tighten security at its borders.
KCTV5's Jonathan Vigliotti is live in Belgium right now. And Jonathan, what's going on where you are right now?
Yeah, you can imagine the mood very somber. A lot of people who they are now searching for this evening.
Yeah, certainly the 3 most wanted men in Europe right now. Jonathan, this comes just days after the arrest of Salah Abdeslam. Any connection there?
Yeah, that is a question that a lot of people are asking, that officials are really trying to get to the bottom of. Salah Abdeslam, the mastermind of the Paris attacks, has been hiding out, as we now know, here in Brussels in Molenbeek, a neighborhood just a short distance from where we are right now, for 4 months. Police, through intelligence, were led to the apartment that he was hiding out in. At this point, though, it's not clear if the people, the attackers responsible for today's bombings were directly related to Abdeslam. What we do know, just yesterday, the Interior Minister and Belgium officials released a photo of another person they believe directly connected to Abdeslam, who got away during that raid on Friday that led to the arrest of Abdeslam. So at this point, trying to connect those dots, trying to see if this suspect that is at large is connected to today's attacks, still very much part of this fluid investigation.
And hopefully they will connect those dots quickly. Jonathan Vigliotti reporting live for us in Brussels.
Yeah.
Thank you and stay safe.
Now your Storm Track 5 forecast with meteorologist Jesse Hawila.
A very warm and breezy start to the
Thanks, Jesse. Coming up next on KCTV5 News at 5, how people around the world are standing with Belgium tonight. Right now, people around the world are mourning with Belgium. The Eiffel Tower is lit up in the colors of the Belgian flag in memory of the 36 people killed and dozens more who were hurt in this morning's attacks. Of course, it was just last November when 130 people were killed in a terror attack in Paris.
In Madrid, an impromptu memorial outside of the embassy there. Flowers and candles for today's victims. Back in March of 2004, 192 people were killed when terrorists inspired by Al-Qaeda bombed multiple trains. That also happened during the morning rush hour. And stick with KCTV5 as we continue to bring you the very latest updates on this morning's terror attack.
Join Scott Pelley for in-depth coverage on the CBS Evening News, which is next. And then on KCTV5 News at 6, what's being done to keep Kansas City safe from terrorists and copycats?
As always, you can find the very latest on this developing story on our website at kctv5.com. Thank you for joining us here at 5.
And we'll see you back here at 6.